a senior manager for digital readiness. Maybe Peksha, can you just say hi first?
Hey, hello everyone. Very nice to meet you. Hope you have a very enjoyable learning journey with us for I think the past weeks. And hopefully at the end of this competition, this challenge, you actually get to take away quite a bit from it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Peksha. I think maybe just I also want to recognize also like invite Xavier as well, who also been like working behind the scenes as well to make this happen. Xavier, maybe you have something to say to the participants before they showcase their chatbot.
Oh, hi everybody. It's very exciting to see your creation, especially like how you integrate the data from data.gov. I see informations about hawker centers, and I see bus information, even the weather. Yeah, I think it's very, very interesting. And some of the apps, some of this chatbot, I already utilizing it already. I look at my favorite bus stop. I can save my favorite bus stop and know when's the single deck bus is coming and when's the double deck bus is coming, because my daughter really likes double decker bus. So we'll take a look at the app and oh, the bus is coming. So it is really well done, and very excited to see all your creations. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Xavier. Okay, so here are the basically like the experts for today who actually will attend and review your chatbot as well. So without further ado, let's start with the first team who is going to present. Okay, first of all, just a quick technical note. Number one, if your team has a voice function on your chatbot, right? Please, when you share screen, don't forget to tick the share sound. That's number one. And otherwise, we can't hear the voice feature, the sound feature of your chatbot. That's number one. Number two, make sure that you present in front of, at a quiet place, so you can actually hear your pitch really well. So without further ado, like let's welcome the first. Okay, number three. Don't forget to have fun. This is actually a learning journey as well. We are not going to so-called like punish you or anything, and there's no $1 million prizes to won as well. So have fun, enjoy the process. Please be productive as well. If you have any questions to one another, like please voice out your questions as well. Yeah, we do have time limit, but ultimately, like I think fun and learning experience is the priority over that. So yeah, relax, have fun, and happy presenting. The first team is Walkbot. Walkbot, are you here? Team Walkbot. Team Walkbot, are you here?
Yep.
Okay.
Hear me? Yeah, Christian, we are here.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So can you share your screen, and then don't forget, because Walkbot has a voice function as well, right?
correct. Yeah, but it's not going as we planned. But yeah, we'll present it to the best we can.
No worries. Yeah, we like to hear your ideas.
Okay. So I'll start by sharing the screen. Wait. Share sound. Okay. I hope everybody can see our Walkbot.
Yes.
Thank you. So I'll just go ahead to share about our Walkbot. So basically, this is like a walking trail that we would like to guide people down a certain route. Yeah, so previously people have done certain trails like a guided walking trail or a voice guided trail. So we feel like our chatbot will be a good in between, because it will let you free up walking, looking at all the things beside you and listen, but yet have some interaction. So by right, when we start the trail, there will be a playback like this.
My name is Ah Fong. I am a Samsui woman. Welcome to my hood here in Chinatown. Wow, Chinatown has changed so much. Now there's even an MRT station leh. Now Singapore very advanced, got so many MRT train lines and stations. Thinking back, some of my team, we and I, we used to build one of the first MRT train stations in Singapore. Can you guess which train station is that?
Yeah, so this is a brief start. So we are using a fictional character called Samsui Woman. So we really feel like we need to throw more light, a nod to the Samsui Woman of the past who really contributed to Singapore. So we are going to walk together with Fong through this trail. So you add some color and some personal anecdote to your trail. So actually, we will throw in some quiz along the way. So for example, you can guess like which train station is that. So
Hello,
like Toa
my
Payoh.
name is Fong.
Yeah.
I am a Samsui woman.
So the audio is not supposed to play there. So it's supposed to lead on to the next part. Yeah, so we need to fine tune that part. So anyway, the quiz we throw in because it's related to the Samsui Woman, because they are the one who actually helped to build the MRT station as well. Yeah, so we'll go back to the main menu. So by right, this whole trail has 7 stops that we plan. So the next one after meeting up at the MRT station will be the
Besides
Heritage
Bishan
Center.
MRT station, we also built Capitol Theatre at City Hall, National Gallery, and Asian Civilization Museum in the Civic District. Some of the HDB flats, or what you call the public housing in Toa Payoh, were also built by us. We are the nation's builders.
So I'll just give an overview of the other stops that we built. So there's Sri Mariamman as well.
Besides Bishan MRT station,
So
we
it's
also
meant to
built
stop.
Capitol Theatre at City Hall, National Gallery, and Asian Civilization Museum in the Civic District. Some of the HDB flats, or what you call the public housing in Toa Payoh, were also built.
So we need to resolve there's some overlapping issues. Yeah.
You must be wondering, why is there a Hindu temple in Chinatown? Do you know? Before Little India becomes the ethnic quarters for the Indians, they used to live side by side with the Chinese over here. Over time, more and more Chinese came, and the Indians, they needed the fresh water for their cattle. Therefore, they started to move into Little India. Let me tell you a fun fact. This is the oldest Hindu temple in Singapore. It has no traces of it looking very old, right? This temple really adds colors to the street's life over here.
Okay, so actually this board is meant to end as a storyline. So Fong will meet her friend at the end of the other Outram MRT station. So we will lead the users from Chinatown MRT station through 7 points, ending up at Outram MRT station. Yeah, so I think we still need to fine tune on how the audio play up. So there'll be quizzes that should be injected in between the stop to make it interactive. Yeah, and we will also add like photography stops as well to point out to them as well. Yeah.
Okay, that's is that all? Same?
Yeah, Christian.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Judges, you have any questions or any comments?
Yeah, I got one. Thanks for sharing. I think very interesting. Hi, hello.
Hi, Pixia.
Hello. Yeah, so thank you
Thanks.
for sharing. I think it's very interesting. Can I just check with you the sound bites that you use? Were you all the one? It's your own voice, right?
Yeah, because our team, we have Pamela, we have Jianwei and Sui Chai. So Pamela is actually the voice of Fong. Yeah, so she's the one who did it very spontaneously. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
And
very
she really
interesting.
like got into the character of like a
Yes,
Sunsui
the
woman.
Afong.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think even like we wanted to add some video, if we can get it to work. So the programming bit was a bit challenging for us. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
But it was a very good effort, I must say. And there's a
Thank
lot
you.
of ideas that comes around that, you could actually
Yeah.
extend this, bring this
Yeah.
further.
Yeah, correct. So you have an idea that this is more built towards overseas tourists, and to make another one like small geared to locals as well. Yeah, so if you do it for overseas tourists, maybe you can even throw in other useful information, like even like what to do if you lose a passport or something, like to integrate it within the trail. Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think what would be nice is we include more images and perhaps put in some location maps as well. So as the person goes along the trail, they can see more of that. But it's a well-designed, interesting bot.
Thanks, Anil.
Maybe just a question for me as well, right? So
Yeah, sure.
what kind of are you so like what other tracks you have in mind besides Chinatown?
Actually, there's a lot of unlimited trail, and I think basically the chatbot do encourage you to go somewhere off the grid, because Chinatown is a very well researched and done through area. So we will do maybe more off beaten areas even. Yeah, maybe like Geylang, somewhere like Geylang Serai, or Pongo, those areas that's off the grid lah. Yeah. Yeah, because the chatbot keeps you entertained along the way. Yeah, you can add interesting points along the way to keep people going. Yeah.
Right. And which features like you find like most interesting in your own app based on your own opinions?
Actually, there's a lot of things that you can enjoy inside, because some people who are really love to take photography, you can add like Instagram worthy spots to them, like, hey, this is a good place to take an angle. So we wanted to add even like Sri Mariam Temple, the Gopuram, you can juxtapose against the Capitol Land Tower. So for people who love photography, that's interesting. So you can go towards one of these points, like people who love photography.
Right. Okay, I think due to time, thank you so much, Simang.
Thank you,
Thank you for the
Mr.
presentations.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. So I think the judges have actually included the evaluations. The second team, let's move on to the second team. Bellboy. Bellboy, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. Brian, time is yours. Please present your chatbot.
You guys can see the bot, right? Yeah. Okay, so so our rationale behind making like this bot for users to search hotels, right, is staycation. So like whenever like the holiday season comes, we always want to find like hotels to have like a short 2 days or 3 days night stay in like some hotel in Singapore lah. So we would like to like facilitate this process, make it easier for locals or tourists, to find hotels in Singapore to stay in lah. So we do this by our primary function, which is to find hotel by name. So if you click this button, then you see the bot will prompt you. Okay, then we type in like a keyword, like Regis. Okay, then the bot will give you like a list of all the hotels that correspond to this keyword. Then we can click on maybe like the first one, the St. Regis Singapore, and then the bot will give you like all the details of this hotel. So like the rating, the descriptions, and then the address also. And then we also will link the user to the official website. So if you click on this hyperlink, and yeah, it will bring you to this this website here, where the user can take a more in-depth look and also book the hotel itself, if the user is interested. So we go back. Okay, so we also add in the review function. So we click on see reviews. Okay, then we can see reviews by some of the other people who have went to this hotel before. So because we don't want to overload the user with all the reviews, we don't want to put everything into one like speech bubble. So we make sure that we have this see more reviews. So if the user is interested, you can click on this. Then you can see reviews by more people. So for each hotel, there's I think 5 reviews. So once the user has seen all 5, right? The bot will say, you have exhausted the list of reviews. So the user can go back to hotel details. And if the user is like, interested in looking at more reviews, right, he can click to see, the 5 again. But this is also a limitation because if he wants to see like the 3rd review, right, then he has to scroll through, the previous 2 to see the 3rd. And we also add in like, the favorite option so that you can favorite the hotel. So the bot will say you have added it. You can remove if you want, but you go back to hotel details, you can see that, the bot has recognized that we have favorited this hotel. Yeah. So from here, right, the user can search another keyword, or you can go back to the home page. And you can go to the second feature, which is to find, the hotels near him. So for this, what we do, right, is that we take the user's location and then we search all hotels like within, I think, 10,000 meters of him, and we take the first 5 that comes out. So you see there's 5 hotels, and then you can click on maybe one of them, and you see that it's the same thing, hotel details. Just that the difference is that he can generate the list of hotels again if he wants to, and see what other hotels are there. Yeah. So to give a bit more of a personalized touch to this bot, right, we added 2 more sections, which is Bellboy recommends. So for Bellboy recommends, right, we pick our like top 5 hotels, and we we offer the user like 3 different categories. So if the user wants to group, like wants to see our hotels by price, right, just like he wants to see like he wants to find a budget hotel, and we can click on this. You can see like the 2 hotels that we recommend as under our budget price range. Yeah. And he wants to maybe like go to a more hotel near a more like cultural center, you can click on this category, culturally rich, and see like the 2 hotels that we recommend. And the same thing goes, we can add this hotel to our favorites. Yeah. And all hotels will show all 5 hotels. Yeah. And for tips, right, we cater our tips to both locals who wants to go for, a staycation, and tourists. So we have 5 tips. This is one of the examples of the tips that we give. And for tourists, there's also 5. So they can click and they can browse through, the tips that we give them. And the last feature is, the favorite function. So all the hotels that they favorite, right, will be in this list. So they can revisit. They can remove it also. And if, they want to clear out the list, they can just click on clear face. And if you look at it again, there's nothing in the list. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be all.
Okay, thank you so much, Brian. Jaya's, any questions or comments?
Well, let's start off. So I think your chatbot is very complete. Actually, it's one of the more complete chatbots that we see. So I thought it's a very good effort that you can do this out in a very short time frame. Yeah. So yeah, well done on this portion. Yeah, and I think it will be very useful for the hospitality industry, especially when you want to, like what you say, look at staycation, especially in this Singapore climate now, right?
Yeah, we hope to like incorporate like a booking function you know, this if so, then the bot will be definitely more useful for the industry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. How many of you are in a group? Is it?
Only 3 of us. Yeah.
Okay. Any coding experience from three of you?
For me, I'm the most experienced because I've done a bit of coding beforehand. Yeah,
I
the rest
see.
did more of the the text and the art style. All the buttons you see here. Yeah, they did more of the customization.
I see. The UI also quite neatly put, you know. Yeah, very graphical, very attractive. Good effort. Thank you. Yeah.
It's a good start, Brian. But I think for me, what I would prefer to have seen also is, I know you guys have a very short time, is where the searching is more towards what the user would want to do. For example, you know, get me a mid-range hotel around Orchard Road, for example. So that kind of searching, if it's possible, I'm not sure if the API supports it, might be something that's more interesting. So where I think your Pexia is absolutely right that the bot is almost there when it comes to features. But I think the searching can be improved a bit more. And I think also when you search by pricing, for example, you got the budget and so on, maybe just two results is too few. You might want to think about 4 or 5, right? And also where they're located. So I think perhaps you want to even put in like a location map for the hotels itself. So that's the map API. You can probably use something like that. So I think there are still, I think you need to figure out really the way in which, because a lot of the stuff that you see out here can also be, I mean, you can do a Google search to find the reviews and so on, right? But I think what would make your bot more useful is to make it more friendly when it comes to the searching, friendly when it comes to recommendations, and perhaps even do ancillary stuff like, you know, good places around to eat around the hotel that you're staying in, right? Put in other stuff like the cultural spots that you can look at, the parks and other nearby stuff. So I think supporting that might be also interesting too, right? So think in terms of utility, right? And how you can, of course, this is a great start. I'm not saying it's a bad bot. It's a good start. But I think if you want to develop this further, you want to look in terms of really how this can be a leg up over what you can find on the internet. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe just to, I think what I know the time is due, but just to add what Arnold has said. I think what makes also, I think from my end, what makes your chatbot actually better is actually there's a personality or niche that you cover. So right now, I think it's always right. How can you like add more value compared to the existing solutions? Right, it's a startup 101 kind of thinking. So I think the next step, if either you can go very big in terms of like features or customizations and all that, or you can go niche, meaning that like, you know, nice hotel for backpackers, or then when you cover one niche, right, then you know that backpackers don't just need hotel. They also need actually a cheap food to recommend, something like that, or they need a local culture. So that will give you like a very strong boost compared to the people going through like Booking.com or Agoda to search for hotels. But on my end, feature-wise, I don't see any. I think it's already pretty great. So that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, thanks so much, Bear Boy. Brian. Okay, Brian, not the Bell Boy, but the Bell Boy creator. Okay, the third chatbot, Playmax. Playmax team, are you here?
Hi, morning, everyone. Yes, we are here. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Lynette. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah.
Time
hi,
is yours.
Christian. Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone, to judges and our fellow participants. It has been such a privilege to participate in this competition. We have learned a lot here. Okay. I'm Lynette here, and I have my team members, William and Weihan, with me. Yeah. We are here to present our Playmax chatbot. The 3 of us are actually parents of young children, and we have always enjoyed bringing our children for outdoor playground. Outdoor play, I think to many of us, we know the benefits for children development. especially with more indoor time these days, and our screen time is a lot higher. So just to name a few benefits, right? It helps in the motor and sensory skills development of children. Outdoor play is oftentimes, right, a good opportunity for intergenerational bonding as well. However, as parents, I'm sure fellow parents in the group will also experience this. We actually experience challenges in finding which playground to go other than the familiar field that we know. Therefore, this idea of PlayMax, right, is conceived to help parents navigate quickly on where to bring children for outdoor play. So now allow me to bring you through the chatbot, right, as a parent new to the PlayMax chatbot. Okay. Okay. Today seems to be a good day to bring the kids out for outdoor play. But where should we go? I can check out PlayMax introduced by my friend. Wow, from a quick glance, PlayMax looks pretty interesting. There's benefits of outdoor play. Sunlight, yeah, sweat. Oh, I didn't know that outdoor play can help children learn new words and concepts better. Let me return to the main menu. I want to explore the playground now. Near to my place. I didn't know that there are 3 playgrounds right so near to me. We usually go to the Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park. Maybe I should explore the Seletar Aerospace Park this time round to see what they have. Oh, okay. This one is an aviation team playground. The kids will love it. See the playground highlights? Wow, it has got a team playground and a giant aeroplane chess game. My kids will love it. Now how to get there? And there are 3. Okay, I can take bus 103 near my place. What is the weather forecast for the next couple of hours? Oops. Okay, can we see the weather forecast here? Oh, it's partly cloudy. That's good, not too hot. Okay, let me explore some other playground now. My kids actually love slides. Let me key in slides to see what I get. There are so many playgrounds with slides. Amarathi Park looks interesting. Okay. Wow, it has got 26 slides. I didn't know that Singapore has got a playground that has got so many slides. Okay, I'm sure my children will be very happy to see so many slides. So I save as favorites. Okay, the playground is safe. I want to go back to the main menu now to see what else to explore. There is an interesting button, Play Fun Trivia. Let me click on it. Okay, which garden is the first UNESCO heritage site in Singapore? This one I know, Singapore Botanical Garden. Okay. The playground that opened in 1986, Singapore's largest playground, feature equipment and facility designed to simulate imagination. Should be City Hall? No. Okay, past series, please. Yeah, let me try. Okay, my answer is correct. Next. Okay, 4.5 hectare outdoor play area comes complete with Singapore's tallest outdoor play tower. Okay, by elimination from the park that I know should be Coastal Playgrove. Wow, nice. Okay, looks like I'm on a roll with 3 consecutive correct answer. Let me go back to the main menu now. Okay, now how do I go to my safe playground? I remember seeing key in F. Okay,
So Lynette, can you wrap up?
PG06.
Yeah, it's
okay.
short. Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
so this is the part with the 26 slide. Okay, I'll get my kids to see this. So fast forward, the kids likes the chatbot. This is a helpful chatbot. I shall provide feedback. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I'll type in my name. Okay, email. I'll put X, anonymous. Okay, this chatbot is helpful. Okay, so good thing must share. After I submit, okay, I'll share with my friend via WhatsApp. Okay, so thanks a lot for the opportunity to share our chatbot over here. Hope you find the chatbot useful to you too. Thank you.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I'll go first. Lynette, this is a fantastic chatbot. I think you've covered all the bases, and I think the design is really compelling. Most of all, you have structured everything around the use case. I also have kids, and I know looking for playgrounds and so on is always a chore. And my kids want to discover new playgrounds. So this actually perfectly solves all of the questions. I can't think of anything really much to add, to be honest. So good job.
Thank you very much, Arnold. Thank you.
Yeah, just to add on also, yeah. Yeah. Hi, hello. I think this is very good chatbot. To me, this use case is very unique. I don't see, I mean, some of the other use cases, we do see alternative apps out there. So this playground was the one that struck me as, oh, wow, this is like a very innovative use case and will be useful for parents that to bring their children out, you know. And even for adults like us, many of us don't know that there are specific
features.
Pixia,
I think I lost you.
Hello?
Yeah, Lynette, I think your connection is a bit unstable. Yeah. Can you hear us? Can you hear us right now? Maybe
Hello?
I'll just disable the stop share first. Is it better, Lynette? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Lynette. Yeah, so I'll just reiterate, I'll just summarize. I think this chatbot is very unique. There are not many out there that actually, you know, broadcast our parks and our playgrounds. So I think it's a very good and interesting idea by your, a good effort, interesting idea by your group lah. And also I wanted to add on that I like the way that you interact or you pull the different features. For example, you are able to pull the meteorological, the weather forecast element into it. And I believe that this is not, you know, even if I go to NParks website, I don't see it. your idea of pulling other important information into and integrating into the chatbot is what that strikes me. Yeah, so I thought that's a very good effort.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pixia, for the sharing over here. It has been a very interesting journey, right? Trying to design it around the user-centered space. So we basically designed it based on our needs. Yeah, and the feedback from friends along the way has also helped a lot. Same thing from the feedback from judges today. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Lynette. Well done. Well done. Okay. So let's move on to the next chatbot. Oh, just to let you know, there are more than 5. There are more than 5. So no worries about it. We won't stop at 5. Judges, have you tabulated the result? Okay. Okay, sure. Okay, next one. Next selection. Bus B. Bus B team, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Henry, time is yours.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I think just to caveat, I think the whole program or the whole board was just created by myself and my wife, together with my mom-in-law. So we actually have no experience in coding, so we focus a lot on the user experience and the UI or UX interface. So I think maybe I'll just share some of the insights to how we design the contents and some of the choices we made. So when we started with this board, we had a lot of ideas, like trying to create a lot of features and a lot of functions that users could use. But after checking with a lot of our friends and colleagues, and also including our elderlies, we realized actually when you come to the first page, it's important for the users to be not overwhelmed, especially if they are first user. So we decided to shrink down and actually cut away a lot of the ideas. And also partly because we run into many 502 errors. So actually some of the ideas we wanted, we couldn't emulate, but we decided to go for the very simple and fun way of using the bot. So we gave this bot or this bus bot a personality, and we just wanted it to be a bit funny and use it through the use of puns and also the choice of colors that we made to be more refreshing and cheerful. So, and we slowly decided that, okay, we wanted to make the bot a bit more catered to 2 main groups of users. So the first will be the elderly folks who actually would like to sort of get them exposed to the use of smart technology or the digital tools. And also for the young kids who actually get their first mobile phone. So a lot of the UI UX decisions were based on the mobile interface. So we tried to keep our contents, the words a bit shorter, a bit more succinct, so that it will not be too difficult to read for the elderly folks. And we try to avoid using too complicated languages. So it's very simple. And some of the things we also mentioned, also decided was that the order of the buttons also, we thought that it made a difference. So let's say if you are a frequent user, you may want to straight away go to your favorite stop. So we decided to put the favorite stop right at the top. And to make it different from the rest of our buttons, we intentionally made it smaller, so it stands out. And the key options will be in white colors, and then the black colors will be the optional contents. So that's how we sort of differentiate the content. Okay, so maybe I'll just run through the features or the functions. I think it's pretty simple. We just wanted to help users to find out where the nearby bus stops. And we decided with the distance about 400 meters, I think we wouldn't want people to travel or walk more than that. Or sometimes the decision that users will make is that whether should I walk to my friend's place or should I take a bus? So we decided to go with this approach, using a distance as a consideration for the users. So let's say if I were to choose a location, then we decided to use a bit of visuals to sort of give a visual cue for them to know that there's been a change in the contents and the words. And also realize when we are using the bot in the actual out in the open, so let's say if the day is very sunny, right? Sometimes we can't really see the text under the bright sunlight. So we thought that if we could use a mix of visuals and as well as the words, we could actually see better under the bright sun. And we decided to also focus more on actually what users will need. So we asked a couple of friends and colleagues, actually, apart from knowing bus arrival timings, actually they did sound out that the bus load is actually quite important for them to decide whether they should wait for the bus or actually take another bus or Grab or whatsoever. Yeah, so we decided to just stick with these four information. And the users can just refresh continuously. And also we thought that we could just get them to save the bus stop number. So we just created like a different visual to indicate that has been done. And to the fun part, the next one would be arrival timings. Another thing that we wanted to sort of like hint to the users is that I think some of our friends actually don't know what is a bus code number. So they will think that it could be the bus numbers that you should search for. So we sort of like just made a visual to just point to them actually like where can they find the bus stop number. And let's say if I have to search type menu, I can as and when return back to all the options that I want. And to the most fun part of the bot is actually to entertain while waiting for the buses. I think that's one of the biggest enemies when we take public transport. So we decided to throw in a lot of random jokes and punny jokes that is more related to the personality of the bee. So we chose like bee related jokes and also bus related jokes to keep them entertained. And I think let's say if we had more coding experience, we probably may want to increase the interactivity for this portion, maybe have more categories or even like have users contribute some of the jokes, and then we can sort of like curate and constantly update this bot. And if the person is bored, they can still continue to refresh. I think we loaded about like 30 over jokes inside. So I think quite a low chance to repeat the jokes. And I think lastly, we just included a very short description about the owners. And we use the first person tone, like the bee actually talking to you and explaining who are the creators behind. So this is just a very short description. So I think there are a lot of ideas that I wanted to do, but I couldn't. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to share. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Henry. Pexia, Arnold, you have any comments? Maybe Pexia first, you want to say something?
Yeah, I really like the UX design of this one, the bee, the icon, the design from that perspective. And I like you bringing in thinking about the user, like you have your fonts cannot be too small and it cannot be too wordy. You should use simple language, the color background, the contrasting color under the sun, like what you mentioned. So I thought the UX for this is fantastic and I love the UX. So yeah, I think this is what stands out to me. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, Heng Hui, I think you can actually give a masterclass in design. I think it's very, very well designed. So the bot, I think itself isn't much above the template, the bus bee template that I gave out. But what you did with it is just amazing. There's just no comparison from the template in terms of usability, in terms of the thought that you put through the visuals and so on to make it usable and functional. It's just simply amazing. So fantastic job with the utility of it. I think Chris, uses it every day or something, right, Chris?
Oh yeah. I think the beauty of this chatbot, right, is the simplicity. So to be honest, Henry, if you mention that you want to add more features, right, I think you need to think really, really, really hard. Because again, like I think for like what you mentioned, right, I think the process is already right. I think that one I don't have to tell you. I think you've done it really, really great. So just on my side, if you want to add more features, think twice. I use it every day because I'm commuting. Especially right now because I'm also doing Reno as well. A lot of things, like a lot of busy times, like it's all stress on me as well. Need to go here, all areas, right? What I need is just a simple app to just call the info very quickly, lah. But the jokes, I think it's maybe I'm too young for this. Yeah, but I enjoy it, lah. I enjoy using your apps. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so yeah, Busby, well done. Let's move on to the next presenter or next chatbot. Dino Deal. Is Dino Deal team here?
Hi, Christian.
Hey, hi, KY.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Time is yours, KY.
Oh, okay. So, a second. Is it visible? Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah, but I think it's the UI is a bit slanted to the left.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So, well, I just wanted to share a bit of, like, as to what was going on with it. Like, the bunch of us, at least at the initial team, we were wondering like what could we actually do, and then as we ran through the course, it was like, sorry, the program, there was like the bus, etc. And then we were looking around into the APIs. So in the APIs itself, we came across deals, and then we were wondering like how could we come alive? How could we make this come alive? And the challenge here was that the API was new. It hasn't been refactored yet, and we didn't know how we could show this in a pleasant way. So that was the challenge, the main challenge that we had. And so what we wound up with was to say, hey, okay, what if we had some kind of modes to discover deals? So that was one part of it. So let's just see the app. One part of it, which was, hey, how do we show it here? And then we landed on two modes, right? Which was that, hey, there was maybe a quiz mode or there was a swiping mode. So swiping mode is really very Tinderish, I guess, which is what you would see today, right now at least. So the point was that with all the content that you can see, so this is a very good example of the challenge that we had, is that when we look into the API, you could see the amount of details that's coming out, and then I was wondering like what details were relevant, and how do you present that detail, which was in a consumable fashion. So this is what we want, what we kind of landed with, which was to portray certain details out from the API itself, including some location details which had to be using the same deals API as well as calling upon the OneMap API, and then trying to show as much details as possible to the relevant, and kind of making it like a coupon, like basically a coupon, right? And then try and show it to you. So the main challenge really, I think, for everyone is to learn as to what's going on with this API is that unfortunately the way that they group details, or rather just to run through the 4 APIs here, the only one which was most useful is really search by keywords. The rest were very, very specific and would require a lot of contextualization. And you would be hard pressed in a chatbot to figure out contextualization within a very short few questions. So if you use it by a very general way, the question is how do you make this like an endless scroll? And that's the version 1, I would say, what you see. So this is what we wound up with, whereby it's a complete endless scroll, whereby if you keep clicking, it keeps going. The intent really with the thumbs up and down and all that, to make it more Tinderish, was to also have the bot remember what your preferences were, and so be able to narrow it down, because behind the bot on the what you would call the engine is that it was trying to piece together data, piece together inputs into these parameters, such that it will give you the next deal. So this is actually the most limiting factor, whereby it returns you only 20 records. So that one is what gives us the most problem as to how can I show you something that that is more interesting and relevant. So we just wound up with saying, let's just make an endless scroller, whereby you could just continually keep scrolling through. And the good part, which is why I started here, is that I think the chatbots by Arno and team is that you can actually embed it as an iframe. So it could be useful, like maybe with your BuzzFeed app or whatever, instead of jokes, you could just leave it there, and someone could just endlessly scroll through deals while you're waiting for a bus, etc., or etc., whatever it is, right? So yeah, so I think as well, we try to get the website as well to let the user be able to search more information about the deal itself. Unfortunately, there's no way to do a reverse search. I tried. There was no way to be able to go back into the TIH hub and to try and reverse search that app to show the view, to be able to show you the details of itself here. So I thought, just leave it as it is, and it's pretty clean and straightforward. And at least once you come to this page, you know what you have to do, and that will be straightforward. So there's like also a bit of a sharing function WhatsApp. This one is kind of inspiration from one of the teams as well. And a little bit of about us, which was just to share, who were the people who built it. So I think the people were there, the members were there as well. It's just that they decided that since I was the only one building it, then they felt it was right just not to implant themselves onto it. But I give them fair credit as well for their thoughts and input. Now obviously as well, as exception cases, we just wanted to have give some flavor to the board as well, right? The deals are really very dry, I would say, unless it's very contextualized. So we just want to put in some fun facts, etc., to get the user, if he winds up on some parts of the app which was a bit strange, and if you were to, hit something funny or try and search for something weird, try and give them some dead end which gets them back eventually. Yeah. So with that, that's really the whole app, at least for now. What you can see, like in it, if there's any opportunity to build further, is to try and be more contextualized. I think my friends, that's what their feedback was. How do you get it more contextualized? But that really is a constraint of the API itself. In fact, yeah. So that's it really.
Okay, thanks, KY. Judges.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I think this idea of integrating with the deals, the Singapore deals, it is quite unique. But of course, like you mentioned, there are a little bit of coding and pooling of information and integration that you need to do into this. And I see you pulling directly from some of the websites, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, it is direct.
STB's website, yeah.
Correct.
So so I definitely feel your challenge in doing this, because the integration part is not so straightforward in that sense. So nevertheless, it's a good effort to do this.
Yeah, thank you.
Arnold, you have any comments?
Yeah. Good effort. I think I like the unexpected nature of what comes out. So that's interesting. Right. So it's like a bit of a ka-ching, So you just click on the ka-ching and then, you get something new, right? So I think for people who are waiting for the bus or bored or doing some stuff, right? I think it's unexpected. I think the deals can be better formatted. I think there's just too much text. I think the formatting can be improved. And I think also if the deal comes with a company name, you might want to even think about locating those companies on a map. You can probably do that with reverse geo and something like that, right? So I think on the whole, it's interesting. It's an interesting use case, something that's unique, and I think useful as well. So good job.
Thank you.
I think just to maybe just on an idea to add, right? Sometimes, right, I do understand the limitation on the data API that makes it not real, that limits the so-called the offerings, right? But one thing that you can do is also perhaps to recommend, like, let's say, like my top 5 go-to for deals or something like that, right? Or my top 5 favorite, like let's say vendors that provides good deal as well. So at the very least, if it's limited by the data flow, you can actually help them to. I know it's not sometimes it's counterintuitive because you divert them away from your app, but at the very least, I think it gives a value for the information value for the customers, so that in the way that you give them more information that beyond the data availability lah. Yeah. So but I like the Tinderish kind of way, so it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so the next one, thank you, Dino. The next one is Hypebuddy. I told you it's more than 5, right? So we reserve the X number of extra chatbots that we like to feature. Hypebuddy, you're on. Are you here, Hypebuddy? Constance, right? I can't hear you. We can't hear you. Yeah.
Sorry, is this working now?
Yeah.
Okay. We were not expected to be shortlisted at all, actually. Let me just share my screen. So we decided to use hiking destinations as the use case for our chatbot because I think navigating the NParks website involves a lot of clicking off different pages. So we included two main buttons here, one for favorites if you're a repeat user, as well as one to suggest the park if you're a first-time user or if you're a repeat user who needs a bit more inspiration. So the first thing that appears when you click suggest the park is the area that you would like to explore. So we categorized it into 5 main regions in Singapore. So for example, if I click north, then one suggestion pops up. So right now we're using a randomized function for this. And we have included labels that we thought might be useful. So if you wanted to bring a pet or if you have someone who is in a wheelchair, so these might be useful information for that. So if this is a park that you would like to go to, then you can click go to Coney Island Park. And there are a few buttons that you can select here. So for example, how do I get to Coney Island? So here's a bit of basic info. We didn't really get to build on this part, but we would like to develop it further. So if you would like to go to a park, of course, one of the most important things is what is the weather like? Because if it's raining, you probably might want to reschedule. So you can click here. If you want to hike today, then it appears in time intervals for now. So alternatively, after a hike, it'll be useful to know what good places there are after you hike. So we have shortlisted 10 places. And if you feel you're all set to go, then you can click start my hike. So this is where the chatbot technically ends. But if you would like another suggestion, then you can just type in gibberish and then it will lead you back to the suggestion. Yeah, so alternatively, if you have already saved some favorites, then you can click on favorites. So I think this is an error. So I've already saved 2 places. This is for quick access if I would like to repeat a trip that I've been to before. So yeah, it's a very basic functional bot that we built between Kwangwan and I. We had a third member initially, but it was just the 2 of us at the end. So I think there were a few things that we envisioned for the bot that we would like to include, but we focused on just pushing out the functional one. Yeah, that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Constance. Any questions or comments from the judges?
Well, I think it's a good bot, and I like the way you actually called out the wheelchair accessible and pet friendly and those kinds of things. I think it can be improved with maybe a share function where you can share this perhaps to a friend.
Yeah.
And what might also be interesting is you can use geolocation perhaps to find parks nearby. I'm not sure if you have that function already.
Oh, no, we don't. We have not built that in yet.
Yeah, so that you can use that, or perhaps even while you're in the park itself, and you can actually use geolocation to just if you see something interesting, to mark that location and then put a note for yourself and so on, right? So it becomes more personalized. That makes the favorite parks more meaningful as well. So as the person explores and they put in new content, right, they can actually make it very personalized for themselves and perhaps even share that. So a lot of that you can already do already, right? But I think it's a good job. I'm not sure why you didn't think that you'd be a part of the finalists. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty functional. The bulk of the basic functionality is quite complete, I would say. Now, of course, some ideas for you to further explore and to improve. There are possibilities of this app integrating with a lot more other innovative features that you can put in.
Thank you.
Okay. I think on my side, yeah, I think one thing that gives like this app a little bit more personality or uniqueness is actually the label, right? Like wheelchair accessibles and all that. If that can be so-called search as well, you can ask your so-called your users, like how old are they and like what's their constraint or something like that. Then you can map the label on wheelchair accessible or something else to the recommendation, right? Like if they're traveling with families or with their grannies or grandpas, and if they are wheelchairs, if they need some help, then you recommend like nearest so-called with plus geolocation. I feel that geolocation plus the so-called like meeting the so-called the needs of the users. I think that will be a very powerful apps like, because as you've known, I use like NPAT, and unfortunately there are some rooms for improvements on that website as well. But I think yeah, it's a great start from my end. Okay. Thank you, Constance. Thank you so much. Okay. Last but not least. Hawker Goe. Are you here? Hawker Goe.
Yeah, hi, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. Hawker Goe, the times is yours. Hi, Vincent. Yeah.
Hi. So yeah, let me share my screen. So for our group, yeah, for me, I have prepared slides. So I'll just present that. Okay, so I will go quickly through the slides and I will show you the board. Yeah, so basically, this is our Power Buddies. So, and then this is our chatbot. So your go-to makan chatbot. And then, so our problem statement is that because due to COVID situation right now, so a lot of inconsistent opening hours. So like, well, even though it's Google open, but when you go over there, it's not open or that kind of thing. So we thought of building this bot maybe with some IoT devices, which I will explain more later. So, and also for maybe a lot of busy working adults. So when they go down to the hawker center, they see that, oh, their favorite store is closed, or is it a lot of serving time? So, and also with some elderly with walking difficulties, and also there's tourists are not sure on our local culture. So to solve this problem, we have incorporated a few that to create a chatbot that can search out nearby hawker centers and also tell you the waiting time. So by having the average serving time, and also opening and closing hour of the hawker centers. Yeah. So and also recommend you what to eat. So I think what to eat is a common problem for all of us, and quizzes on our local food just for fun and information. So our final goal is really to help the hawker center to have gradual improvement with their business, and also for working adults or family to plan their lunchtime or avoid some rush hours, and also to get the tourists to know how to navigate around the Singapore, the local hawker culture, and also to get the elderly to have enough information so that they don't walk to there and then the store is closed, right? Yeah. So this is basically our app. Okay, so hopefully you can see. So so this one basically these are our main menu. So we have incorporated a few functions like what to eat, list of hawker centers, nearby hawker centers, fun facts and quiz, FAQ, and about us. So let me bring you through. So our UI UX basically we thought of using Bao. So when we started brainstorming, so our group thought of to use Bao because its English is ban, right? So that's the simplest food in Asian food history, and it's recognizable. So we wanted to show a color of excitement, okay? Because when we think about food, we are very excited, right? Because that's the most relaxed time we can eat and talk, right? So that's why we choose the red as our color. So for the what to eat, so basically when you click on what to eat, then you can choose on what kind of food that you want, the type of food. And then from here, you can have the opening hours and also the average serving time. All that information is displayed. For right now, it's kind of like hard-coded, but of course in future we plan to have some devices or maybe even an app, so that the hawker, when they are open, they can just click on, so that it's reflected to the server, and the server data is pulled on to this chatbot, so that the live information is reflected. Yeah. Okay, and also the average serving time, so it's like the Google, so they have the peak hour or whatever. So from this, with time to time, we hope that it can build up more information on this, whether it's peak time or not peak time, right? Yeah. So, and also list of hawkers. So we incorporated some about, I think hawker center is about 110 in Singapore, but right now we only have a few. So our teammate also went to different hawker center to take some of the store photos and so on to incorporate into our this chatbot. So that, and also for the hawker center perspective, we want to know whether it's open or closed for scheduled cleaning, right? Because every quarter they have the cleaning, right? Which I never know before, right? Yeah. So, and I also to have the Google Map for easy navigation. Yeah. So that's why we incorporated that. And then nearby hawker. So this is very useful. So for right now, I just incorporated a few of these where when you click on nearby hawker, then they will show you the hawker center and also the store at the hawker center, right? And then a street view. So I found out they can incorporate some street view to show. And then, yeah, this is a quiz where I think a lot of my friends and family, they like this quiz because there's a PowerPoint that we incorporated, can be used for discount, right? So it's not just by answering questions, but they can gain some loyalty points or whatever. So the question can be updated regularly so that they can have different challenges for them. And fun facts, so for different theories to learn about the Singapore hawker culture. So we put in a few main criteria for the fun facts, so and it can be updated as well. So, and FAQ. So this FAQ, why we have this is because for the platform, it's really need to be user-centric, where I think when we share our app, a lot of them screenshot the location error for us. That's where we have the FAQ, like how do you turn on location access in Android and iOS devices, right? So sometimes they say iOS, I already turn on location access, but it's in fact, it's just the Safari that you need to turn on. It's not just the general. So that's why we made the video for that. And also we put in some other related things like how do you use the CDC voucher, which announced recently. And finally, is this trending news. So if they are browsing through, they can have this trending news to browse. So, and also this is our user experience survey. So we have a Google form for our users. So about more than 80% they find it easy to use. And well, it's about 65% they will share, they will use this app, okay, to find for their next hawker center. And also about more than I think more than 70% they will recommend this chatbot to their friend. And finally, some of the additional feature they like is like food ordering and then some menu and prices, loyalty point. And then finally, our future plan will be more like quite a few future plans. So like food ordering and delivery, create a scanning device for live update and some English translation and food discovery trail. Also filter by a range of price, and also respond more personal and specific by analyzing the input key by user. Because so far, a lot of my friends, their feedback is that it's just a clickbot, it's not a chatbot. Right, so that's why like if you have, I'm a keto diet now, any recommendation for dinner nearby, I'm a budget prefer less than 20. Wow, this is a lot of intelligence needed. So that's why for my chatbot right now, we don't have that features to incorporate it in. Yeah. So some of the appendix is that, yeah, so some of the feedback from our friends. So yeah, some of them, they ask for cafe and kopitiams. They didn't realize hawker center is incorporated, is handled by the NEA. Yeah. And yep, thanks. So maybe let me quickly just, I think I still have some time. Maybe I just bring you through my app.
You have less than 1 minute, but you can just go through very quickly.
Okay, yeah. So basically, this is the real app right now. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So I will just click on nearby hawker center. So I'm right now in the Circuit Road. So this is a street view and then halal. Okay, I also have the incorporated some share buttons. And okay, so some of the feedback also is that, can I just search for the area? Let's say for Bukit Timah, right? So what is the food over there, right? Oh, that's why I made some keyword search so that these are some of the hawker center in the words, because some of them, they like to type instead of buttons, right? Yeah, and then so if let's say you want to have some prawn noodles, so it will directly have a recommendation. So where is it and so on. So yeah, so some of these are still work in progress in like for some of the keyword search. because mainly I was focusing on the buttons initially. Yeah. So, and of course, finally is like about us. So this is our team, and yeah, I think that's it for me. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Vincent. Judges?
Good work, Vincent. I think this is a really good bot. I think you've really thought it through in terms of user interface and so on. I do agree with your people's comments. I think the bot can be improved in terms of how the information is accessed, rather than just simple, Indian or Chinese food or stuff like that, right? But what I really think you guys did really well was how you presented the results once they were up already, right? So knowing that this certain hawker center closes at a certain time, I think that was very useful. Having a picture that you guys took as well is also pretty useful as well, because you get a feel about the store itself. And I think on a few of them, you had pictures of the food itself. That was also pretty good too. So that kind of stuff is very hard to replicate and do well unless you go there and visit, right? And I think not having a large selection is not a bad thing either, because it's really the best of the best that you want to select and really showcase, right? Rather than having 1,000 different hawkers and put up, right? So I think good job, really good job.
Thank you, thank you.
I think it's an awesome effort. I think your group must give yourself a big round of applause. So all the way from the conceptualizing of your logo, the bao idea, into, I like some of the details that you thought of, like, closure, because it's for cleaning. This is some information I personally also went through. A visitor hawker center is closed for cleaning. Where do you get such information? Yeah, so these little thoughts are something that make your chatbot stand out. So I think, awesome effort. Very good. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other comments from Arnold and Beksha? All right. Okay. So with that, we are wrapping up the presentation session for the finale. Thank you so much for everyone. To be honest, guys, I think it's very hard to actually select this top 7. I mean, originally it was top 5, but then because there are a lot of great apps, so we have to select. But while we are waiting for the judges to actually consolidate the results, I think let's have a 5 minutes break. Judges, I'll assign you to the breakout rooms so we can discuss like who will be the champion for this round of smart chatbot for smart city challenge. And for the rest of you, let's come back again in 5 minutes, take a toilet break, and we'll announce the results after the discussions. Okay.
All right,
okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. For the rest of you, don't leave yet, because we're going to have a photo taking session as well after the judges' deliberations. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Xavier, meanwhile, do you have anything to announce to the participants?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
In the meantime, please do remember that since you all have already joined the chatbot group through Telegram and everything, we will always be here because our objective is to create a learning community. So I'm very glad to see that everyone help out one another. Right? Sometimes you see coding errors, then you help one another. I think this is actually one of our main objectives, which is to encourage people to take up such digital readiness skills like building chatbot. And some of the folks also, as some feedback, some of the folks told me that this is your first time doing the coding also, first time doing the chatbot. So that there's some challenges, definitely. And I'm very glad that some of y'all managed to get a chatbot up. In the meantime, is it okay if y'all share with me what are some of the challenges for the non-coders, the first timer, I would say. If y'all don't mind, can unmute and share with me some of the challenges that y'all face. Any? Just a simple one will do.
Xavier.
Hey, hi.
I mean, I can share with you like the difficulty I think with this particular program is that it's a bit condensed, and there's a very steep learning curve actually.
Steep learning curve.
Yeah, it's very steep. I mean, I think Smojo is not easy to learn actually. It's really not easy to learn.
Easy to learn.
Yeah, it's not. I think even within my group as well, the bunch of us, because we're all strangers, we didn't know each other at all, right?
I see.
You could tell that came a point, I think the second week at the API one, once you you don't follow as well through, yeah, it's very difficult to follow through with what's happening. Yeah, but aside from that, I mean, everything else was pretty good. I thought it was well put together, as best as we can, and I like how we can ask questions and questions get answered. So that was pretty fun. Yeah.
Awesome. So this learning community is actually pretty new, and this is our first pure online learning community. Because in NLB we have various learning communities, such as we have book clubs, we have craft clubs and everything. So this time around we are doing this online chatbot learning community. This is actually our second challenge. So we are quite glad to see the progression also. But as what you mentioned, Smoji coding is not that simple, right? But I think it focused more on the graphic UI, as in that there's a lot of buttons. So okay, noted on the steep learning curve also.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a programmer either. It's just that you really need to spend quite some time also to really learn how to tweak things. So I remember like for example, some of the questions on Telegram, like how to add audio and all that. It was not just by chance that it's totally by chance that I knew how it was done, and then I shared it as to how you could do it.
I see.
And so that's why I can see like the walking board when you put it in. I recognize that their problem as well, because it's the exact same problem that I had. Like putting the audio there is like you can't stop it unless it disappears. So there's
also a lot of possibility, as in there's a lot of areas that you can venture to. I mean, after seeing the presentations and based on the past challenge also. But sometimes we also don't know what APIs are out there. And even though we know the APIs are out there, how do we integrate into the chatbot itself? Yeah. And I also like the part that user can also do some user creation, as in, let's say you use the chatbot and you can save favorites, then maybe you can also find a way to put in you personalize the chatbot also. For example, just now we saw the hiking chatbot. Maybe if we can take a photo and input the location into the chatbot itself, and you share it out, and that would be pretty interesting. I think there are quite a bit of areas to venture to, but our group will always be here. I think we are now pretty large group. Hence we might shift to the Discord. Yeah. Any other comments from the rest? Do you face any other challenge?
This is Chloe. Let me know if I'm audible. Just very short one. I realized that when I was trying to learn the language, my biggest difficulty is in the university, the course structure. Like, because I rely a lot on search function to find what I need, but I realize, and maybe I've missed this, if I have to search for a specific topic that I've learned before just recently, I just have to go through, where have I found this information before? Is it in the video? Is it in the, in the academics part, or is it some of the lab instruction? I find that something that I struggle through. Like I really just cannot remember, where have I picked this up? And I spend really time to go through that learning, path again to figure out, okay, this is where I saw it. And then some explanation is not easy for me to understand as a non-programmer. Like I can't understand the nuance, like, on all these. Like I try to help the team with the favorite button. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But between the work and doesn't work, I also don't know what happened to my code. Like there isn't too many differences. Like probably just copy paste it in a different page and then it works, something like that.
It could be the
So
formatting of the codes.
yeah, could be. So that's where I find really challenging. It's the learning part. Like if it could be a bit more structured, easier to search, a bit more easy for the layman to understand. um yeah, I think that will help myself a lot in picking up things, knowing that things happens in a very fast pace.
Yeah, very interesting. Hey, thanks for the feedback. Yeah, this is one of the key challenges. It's like you vaguely heard this how to use this API from one of the videos. Then you have to go and scroll which part
Yeah,
what's the
and
name of the
it's not just one
API.
place. Yeah, it's like it could even be in the lab instruction, right? So that would be something interesting.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty common problems we face when we do coding also. Yeah, sometimes the language, I mean for non-programmers, sometimes the language is very confusing at times. So yeah, and different programming language actually has a different format. So that also takes a while to get used to it also.
And I guess just structure, putting a good structure to the knowledge that we're building on, right? Because it's a good place that you build knowledge, and you can expand it well enough, effective enough, you're building it right enough.
Okay, can I'll feedback to the team as well to see how we can help this also. Any other feedbacks from the rest? Any other challenges? Okay, let's hear any learning point. Any key learning point about this?
Yeah, for me, yeah, I'm Vincent here. So
hey, hi, Vincent.
Yeah, of course, I think I learned quite a lot from this. So not just from the Smojo itself, where I search the line, how do I embed all the map and so on, and also the HTML, CSS, how to enable some of the features. Yeah. So it took me quite some time, but I mean, I enjoyed the learning process to enable all these. Yeah, I didn't know that can do the embedding of the Google Map in here as well. All that. Yeah. So and also when I started to learn this, it's a bit quite struggling. But when you click it in a way, I think from some of the explanation here and there, then you will understand how it works. So yeah, I mean the feeling of like how do I say it, is that learning something is very great here. Yeah, like from the idea, so our ideation as a start until like we have this product right now, which I think it still can be expanded. I think it's pretty great within these 2 weeks. Yeah. So definitely it's a lot of the learning points right here that I think it's worth to share. Yeah.
So it's from an idea to the creation, in less than 2 weeks, which is like pretty awesome.
Yes. Yeah, and also interaction with my groups, said they are very supportive and so on, all that, right? So like whenever I ask them for something, then they will just say, "Oh, okay, here I'm here. I can do it for you," all that. So this kind of work, I think I'm actually pretty much encouraged by my team member as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So we fully encourage peer-to-peer learning also. I'm just curious. Is there an API for the Google reviews? Like for example, we search let's say a hawker store, right? I mean, in Google, we can see the reviews. Is there
actually they have just that I didn't incorporate it right now for the reviews because it's there's a place API which I mean it will take some more time to learn how to get it. So there's a place API that can use. So I think that might require. I'm not too sure whether there's maybe a free version, then maybe a later paid version of that, and then even the reviews and some of the opening and closing. But I mean for that I would say it's still not reliable because it's not localized, right? So then some of the information up there might not be updated. So of course, then that's our group thing of like IoT devices or even the app, so that if let's say deploy in large scale, for example, then all this can be like a practice for the hawker owners to update it or whatever to reflect it to the server to be more accurately. Even install the IoT devices on the store itself when they open or close the lights or whatever, then they know that they are operating, right? Yeah. So that's just a wild thought from us. Yeah.
Yeah. One suggestion would be like really go niche, like just focus on hawker food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just hawker.
Just hawker.
Yeah, that's why actually when we ask around for some feedback, they say, "Wow, the nearby hawker is so far away. My downstairs also got the kopitiam ready." Right? Then that's where we educate them. Kopitiam is not hawker. Yeah. So
even though they provide food, right?
Yeah. So there's a bit of different. That I mean, I was it's a good learning for all this. Yeah.
How about we take one more? Any other learning point from the rest? Any other? Don't feel shy.
Actually, I just want to say earlier, Vincent
hi.
mentioned a very good point about the clickbot. I thought that was a very good point actually, because I had come in here expecting that it would be more natural language based and like you would type and you go. But it turned out that it was like interesting to see that it would be more like HTML, CSS kind of guided kind of conversation, which was a bit unexpected. I didn't know how that would pan out. And then if you wanted it to be more natural and more language based, then you would really have to be very tedious. You have to code almost every single word in the dictionary out. Yeah, that's just something that didn't really expect that.
Oh, so interesting. Anyway, thanks for sharing the learning point as well as the challenges. Christian and the fellow judges, just now we were talking about what are the learning points and what are the challenges that we face, which is very interesting. And also one last thing for me to add. Dino Dill just now showed us a version of an endless scroller. That is something that I long time never hear before. It's been a while, but last time there's this trend of an endless scroller. So it just scroll. Very interesting, and it's really I have never expected that it can exist in a chatbot. Thanks again. Okay, over to you, Christian.
Okay, thank you so much, Xavier. And thanks everyone. I think hope all of you have a great time as well. I think a few points I'd like to consider. Like number one, this is a learning community, as what Xavier had repeatedly mentioned, right? There are a lot of plus points, very hugely diverse plus points that actually appears between like one bot and another. So I think the first thing is that like there are like so-called, when it comes to rooms for improvements, right? I think there are unlimited choices because of the backed by true facts, basically backed by basically past successes, right? By everyone's successes. So let's keep the community going. And I think on our side, as we promise to make the learning so-called platform much better, please join the Discord group as well. And also like stay tuned to NLB basically like initiatives as well, because I think learning never stops. And even right now we can see that we are inspired by you guys as well. So there are a lot of learning points happening in this chatbot, and especially during the finale. So please join, and then like we'll actually like we'll actually have more initiatives happening that we'll discuss lah. So that's number one. Number two, basically like I think what all in all, like what makes this chatbot special bootcamp, challenge special, is actually the utility. So we really score utility and user friendliness very, very high, because now we are the one using it on a daily basis. So really great job that you guys can come up with some apps that can be used that makes us use on daily basis as well. So that's super good job. Okay. Before we have a judging session as well, right? I think let's have a photo taking session first. So can you guys like switch on your camera as well? So just in case like down the line when say, oh, I'm number 3, I'm not number 1, right? Then although you are a winner, but then your face looks really sad lah. So before we announce this, can you guys like switch on your cam, and then I'll just take a snapshot. I'll share it to the Telegram group as well. Okay, Samantha, BL, Chenwei, Samuel, presenter and iPhone. Can you switch on your camera as well? Okay. Okay, I think let's just start right now. Okay. All smile. 3, 2, 1. Okay. One more. Just wow. Okay. Where to put the screenshot? Just for one. Oh, Xavier, maybe can you just like do a screenshot for the next one? Maybe like freestyle or something.
Freestyle? Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, freestyle.
Freestyle. Okay.
Just hold on for a while. I think two more, yeah, few people.
Yeah, there's a few pages. Let me try to get everyone in. Okay, can do all the funny expression while I'll take all the photos. Okay, and let me go to page 2. Okay, one more. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay, thanks guys. Arnold, time to announce.
Okay, so I hope this has been a wonderful learning for all of you. I think it's been tough. It's probably, in all honesty, it's our toughest chatbot competition ever. So we've had quite a number now, both in Singapore and overseas. And I think this is hands down the hardest competition we've had so far, because you not just have to learn about the technical aspects of building chatbots, you also have got to then learn about APIs and how to call them out. And in some cases, in actually just, having physically go to locations to get photographs and other stuff, right? So all in all, well done for your efforts, right? We are all really happy with the outcomes of your work. Okay, so this is not the end. All right, so we realize that a lot of you want to improve your bots going forward. So for that, we are thinking of moving away from a Telegram because of the volume of messages just way too high. And we've created the Discord account for that. I think Chris has put it up in the chat as a link, and we'll share that again also, of course, in Telegram. But if you want to, migrate over to Discord, because we're holding further things that you can learn about, and mentorship and handholding and discussions and so on. And also what we hope is that we want to get you guys to come and share your ideas and techniques and things that you can bring to the table for the community itself. So one of the purposes that NLB has in doing this is to create a learning community. And part of that is really for you guys to come in and share your own ideas, your own aspects of what you're doing, right? So I think a lot of you have got a lot to share, right? From this experience and also from what you've done, right? So the announcements. Okay, so second runner up.
Okay, sorry to disturb as well. Okay, the Discord link says it's expired. Let me just share with you the new link. Yeah, and yeah, go on.
Let me go on.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that suspenseful break there,
sorry guys.
Second runner up is Busby. Okay, what we liked about the bot is that although it was based on the templates, you guys put in stuff which is to make the bot really useful. Okay, there were other bots actually based on the template itself, right? And you guys also, for the rest of the teams, it was actually hard to make a choice. Okay, so in fact, all of us for the selection committee, we selected different bots which were bus based, but we realized also the bar had to be a lot higher for these bus based bots. And I think the breaking criteria was really utility and ease of use, right? So that's where we actually went with Busby. And of course, the Busby app did a fantastic job in terms of really showcasing what good design can do for your bot, right? So above the template that you already have, right? So congratulations, Busby. You guys are second runner up, okay? First runner up is a Playmax, right? So Playmax guys, fantastic job, right? I think the bot can be tweaked just a bit more, but I think you're pretty much there already. It's a very usable, very friendly bot to have. And I think I like the fact that you built something that you wanted to use yourself. I think that's really the case of most design, right? Most times, successful design and successful building is really all about building something that you enjoy using yourself, not for somebody else, but really for yourself, right? And that way you are much more interested in making it useful, right? So Playmax, you guys are first runner up. And drum roll, what do you say? Number one, okay? Number one for this competition is hawker go where, right? You guys, I mean, come on, right? The kind of effort that you guys have put into this and making it to a useful bot is just amazing, right? They should took their own photographs and put in their own database. And I think that the bot itself is actually to a place where it can really be useful, right? So kudos to you guys. And we also want to announce one other team as well. So we have a Certificate of Excellence Award, which we award on a discretionary basis. And that really goes to Walkbot, right? So Walkbot, your bot, we thought was really, it has a lot of potential in terms of utility, right? And I think the way you designed it was really interesting, and that deserves to be recognized, right? It still has got a long way to go, I think, in terms of actually being something that can really be used intensively. But I think you've got all the good ingredients there, and I think you really want to consider spending some time to actually improve that bot. Okay, all right. So that's it for me. Chris, back to you.
Okay, so to all winners, like, congratulations. Actually, to all teams, congratulations, because like the fact that you successfully like completed the challenges, like building an API based apps within 3 to 4 weeks, actually is a pretty amazing one. So I think that's actually like a great milestone as well. That we really enjoy the process. Again, like all of us have different app recommendations, and at the end we kind of compromise as well when it comes to selecting the finalists. We need to expand from 5 to 7. So that's how confusing it is for us to decide the finalists, right? Second thing is that just a quick announcement before we left. I saw the Telegram group vote, right? And we're actually planning a discussion and wrap up session next week to introduce the next initiatives, because again, based on the feedback, we have received a lot of DMs that ask what's the next step? How can we improve the chatbot that we built, right? So number one, what we do immediately is to actually extend the life of your AutoCAD users, so that we will continue to support you in your app development. Is number one. The second thing is that we are planning so-called either a workshop or a self-paced learning, additional advanced learning materials for you, based on the collective feedback that we heard, and also our own analysis as well, what to improve. So that's actually the second one. And the third one is actually the features, right? We like to feature you guys. Come on, this is the toughest challenge that we have worldwide, and we like to feature you guys as well onto our global community. So you guys, not just you, not just you guys learn from each other. You guys can inspire a student in Indonesia, so-called career switchers in Namibia, and also people in Hong Kong, in Kazakhstan, and all other places that we've engaged, so that they are inspired with what you've created. So a lot of things to chew on, and we like to actually have a more intimate session with you guys next Thursday, 8 p.m. So the timing is actually already set, next Thursday, 8 p.m. Sorry, Wednesday, my bad. Wednesday, 22nd of December, 8 p.m. So stay tuned, and we'll announce that on the Telegram group as well. And don't forget to join Discord as well also, because we will add on more stuff on Discord in terms of the learning information to make it more organized. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Me and Samuel and Arnold from AI4IMPACT, and Texia and Xavier from NLB. I'd like to say thanks to the journey that you guys put in, the effort you put in. Maybe Texia or Xavier, you have anything to say? Last words to say.
Yeah, so from NLB's end, we are very happy to support AI4IMPACT, and also everyone in this chatbot learning community. I think learning is a lifelong journey, and learning with a group of friends or people that you can actually have the same ideas, bouncing ideas, is a very social and interactive way of learning. And that's something that NLB is working towards supporting, beyond, of course, reading and also our book collections. So yeah, way to go, guys. You are the trailblazers.
Okay, thanks, Texia. Okay, let's learn more. Let's impact more lives. So see you again next Wednesday. to wrap up, and all the best. Have a good weekend. Okay, bye guys.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
So